Good morning, classmate boys. Today we will start another chapter which is known as Geographic Grid, Latitudes and Longitudes. As you can see in the slide, the Earth and the grid. A grid is basically a series of intersecting or crossing lines used for locating a place on a map or a globe. On a spherical globe, which is similar to what the object you can see in the slide, it would not be possible to indicate exact point from which we could begin marking the lines of the grid, as it would lack a precise starting point. Since the Earth rotates on its axis, each end is known as a pole, and midway between these two poles lines is the equator. One series of lines is drawn from North Pole to South Pole called the meridians of longitude, while the other lines drawn parallel to the equator called parallel of latitudes. This network of meridians and parallels is called Earth grid, and their intersection enables us to locate any point on the Earth with a precise value. Let's look at in a broader perspective. So we basically can say that Earth's grid system can locate any city with a particular value of latitude and longitude. As you can see in the picture, it's pointed out the city New Orleans in LA is located at the crossing of 30th east-west line north of the equator and 90th north-south line west of the prime meridian. Lines of latitude cross lines and longitudes creates a right angle. Although only a few of the latitude and longitude are shown in the globe, the number is basically infinite. So what we can say is that we can say the network of parallels of latitudes and meridians of longitude drawn on a globe or a map is called a geographical grid. Latitudes are east to west lines which are parallel to one another. Meridians are north to south lines. Meridian converge at the two poles. Parallels and meridians intersect each other at right angle. These imaginary lines form a grid of reference line for locating a place on the earth. It is referred as Earth's own grid. Like you can take an example that Delhi is indicated by 28°40' north and 77°14' east. It means Delhi is located at an angular distance of 28°40' north of the equator and 77°14' east of the Greenwich meridian. It is necessary to give the latitude and longitude value of a station to order to locate any precise point on the earth. While giving the value of latitude, we write the letter N, as you can see in the picture. When we discuss about longitude, we write the value E. And also along with that, we write the opposite side. It means with the latitude, it has N and S, and with the longitude, it has E and W. N stand for north, S stand for south with latitude, and for longitude, it become eastern and western. So let's look at to some of the facts and concept of latitude. So basically we can say the latitude of a place is an actual angular distance of the point north or south to the equator measured in degree. So if a point is located at the 40° north of the equator, the latitude will be expressed as 40° north. If that line or that point will going to be placed at the 60° south, it will be pointed as 60° S. Okay. The equator, as you can see in the red line, taken the value of 0°. Latitudes are measured from 0° to 90° north, same as 0° to 90° south. As you can see the lines of latitude, these are basically imaginary lines which join all places having the same angular distance north or south to the equator. It is measured in degrees. Okay. The equator 0° is the longest line of latitude. The length of the equator is equal to the circumference of the earth. Other lines of the latitude are shorter of the length. The length of the lines of latitude decreases with distance away from equator. So, all the lines of latitudes are circles parallel to the equator. Therefore, lines of latitude are also being called as parallels of latitude. Beside the equator and the two poles, the other important lines of latitudes are like Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5° north, 23.5° south, which is Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle 66.5° north, and Antarctic Circle, which is 66.5° south. Let's look some of the important facts of equator. As we know, the equator is an imaginary line which joins midway between the poles. The equator intersects the earth axis at an angle on right angle point. The equator is basically 0° with the reference line used measuring distance from north and south. The equator divides the two hemispheres in northern and also in southern hemisphere. The latitude of a place can be determined on the basis of the angle of inclination of the sun in the sky. The angle of inclination of the sun in the sky point out a midway between determined by a simple instrument called sextant. The angle of inclination may be obtained approximately by studying the length of the shadow of a pole on the ground. In the northern hemisphere, the latitude can be determined by observing the pole star. There are two ways of observing the latitude values: by the observing the sun, because when sun is overhead in the day of Tropic of Cancer or in Tropic of Capricorn, even in the tropical zone at a place, sun is overhead only 1 or 2 times in a particular year. Apart from that, we can calculate the distance between latitude lines easy, because this distance never varies. If you treat the earth as a sphere with a circumference of 25,000 miles, the 1° of latitude is divided by 360, each and every 360 round parallels, which will point out to 69.44 miles. Determination of latitude, different methods, as we can say. The geographical latitude, taking angle sites on the certain pole star, as we just talked about of it, or by measuring as a sextant instrument, with the sextant instrument. These are all details regarding the latitude. In the next video, we will move on to some important facts related to the longitude. Till then, stay safe. Thank you.